Right then, lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. Welcome back to another match reaction. My name is Cossy, and I'm going to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. We got those 3 points. We got that win against Southampton, 3-0. What a victory. What a performance from the lads. What a performance from the boys. That was really impressive. I mean, we are back to winning ways. That is number one. As we go into the West Ham game, which is actually our next focus, and I'll talk about this in this video. That is our next focus, Southampton. But before we talk about that, I think we need to talk about the beautiful performance that we've had at the Emirates today. We are the only club in the in London, in the Premier League that have collected more points at home in the Premier League than any other side. We have won more games. We have collected more points than any other side, be it City, be it Liverpool, be it Chelsea. At home, we have more points than any other side in the league. Our only problem, like I've already said, is away from home. And the problem, or the problems we are in at the moment, are being caused by our away form. Lost to Everton, lost to Manchester United, lost at the Anfield against Liverpool. It's really costing us. Really costing us. But these are my thoughts on the game. My general thoughts on the game. Number one, many people are going to say it's been Southampton, it's been a small team, things like that. My dears, let me say this. A win is a win, and it doesn't, the size of the club doesn't take anything away from the win. If it was Chelsea, it was City, people would be saying brilliant performance from Manchester City, brilliant performance from Liverpool. But because it is Arsenal, everyone is saying Southampton is a poor team. They're really performing poorly. We beat them hands down. We were really unplayable in that game, and I want everyone to shut up. We won that game by merit. We won that game convincingly. I wish we can play like this every game. I wish we can actually put in the same performances game in, game out, because that is what you need. You need the consistency. You need the beautiful play every game, and I think Arsenal are capable of producing this quality. And that is what I've already said, that there is quality in this team. We're a good side. We can provide quality on the pitch. Our problem is the coaching. Our problem is the mindset. Our problem is the manager. If you look at this group of players, what can you tell me that these players and that performance does not get 3 points against Everton on Monday? It gets 3 points. We would have gotten 3 points. That do you tell me that that performance does not get a point against Manchester United, or 3 points? It gets those points. It gets a point against each of those two opponents. But the mindset that we have, the mindset that is being instilled in these players, is actually being the problem. Look at today. We scored the first goal, brilliant goal. Saka. We talked about that in the match reaction. Saka laying it for Lacazette, beautiful goal. But again, we were relentless. We kept on pushing and pushing until we got the second goal. And I think that is what is really, that is what mattered for me in that game. The way we responded right from the two defeats, but also the way we responded after we scored the first goal. It's been a huge problem. It's been a huge problem for us. Whenever we've been scoring goals, we've been limited, we've been timid, we've been playing defensive football, because we want our team to be we want our team to not to concede. But today, did we concede? No. Did we play defensive football? No. So I think there's some improvements. There's so many positives to talk about in that game. Gabriel Magalhaes, I think I'm going to agree with people who are saying that the most consistent player, apart from Ramsdale, the most consistent player in that Arsenal jersey now is Gabriel Magalhaes. He is the most consistent of all players we have at the side. He's the most consistent. If you look at his performances, they do not change. Has he had a bad game ever since he started this season? I don't remember. I don't remember him having a very bad game. Which game? Liverpool? No. United? No. Yes, maybe at United we could have done better defensive-wise, but I think the goals we are conceding are not actually on Gabriel. He is one of the best players now in the league. He's one of the best players in the league. He's now one of our best players in the Premier League. Highly underrated. No one talks about him. Whenever people talk about, they never talk about Gabriel, but Put some respect on that guy's name. He is one of the best defenders now, one of the best young talents. If we ever think about selling Gabriel, it's going to Rudiger is going to be one of the most paid defenders in the world. Why can't Gabriel be one of the most expensive defenders in the world? If we ever think about selling Gabriel, it should be 200 million. It should be 200 million. That guy is unplayable. And what is fascinating is that he adds goals to his game. He's adding goals to his game. I mean, he's a complete centre back, ain't he? He's a complete centre back, and more of the time he's going to be improving. He's still very young. He's still learning. He's consistent. He's good. I think, guys, we have a very, very good centre back in there. But I think there are also three players that we need to talk about, in this match reaction. Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard is back. Odegaard, he had a very, very good start to his loan spell at Arsenal, and that is the reason as to why Mikel wanted to sign him and bring him in. And many Arsenal fans, including me, were actually skeptical of bringing Martin Odegaard back. We all wanted at least to have James Maddison. But I'm gonna say this: Maddison is still needed at the club. I think you can have Maddison if we are ambitious enough. We can have Maddison and Odegaard in the same team, and it still works out. We can have both of them in the same squad, and then it still works out. What I'm gonna say about Odegaard, though, is I think he has finally started to impact the Arsenal team. He has finally started to impact the side. And that is what we want. We want a player that really, really provides us with more and more and more. He is becoming that sort of player. He's scoring more. He's taking more risks. We talked about it, as one of his problems. He rarely takes risks. And look, for me, for a player to start taking risks, it doesn't take a lot, honestly. It doesn't take a lot. You just need to wake up and realize that I need to take more risks. I need to do this as the number 10 of the club. And I think he's doing that. I think he's really, really performing at a high level. So he deserves a lot of credit. And then the other player is Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli is another player that has proven Mikel Arteta wrong. I think whenever I think about Arteta, being Arteta out, I think about Martinelli and the amount of time he's been locked away for no reason. Like, this guy, every game is improving. Every game is proving a point to Mikel Arteta that he is one of the, because for me, he's one of the best talents, best young talents in the league. When I look at him, I think about Phil Foden. When I look at him, I think about Christian Pulisic. When I look at him, I'm thinking about Mason Mount. There was some, he's part of that genre. He's part of that, lineage of young talent that are set to have big futures, in the next 5 years. He's part of it. The only problem that he's not getting the game time. And when he got it, Newcastle scored a goal. Today, he's been unplayable. Against Everton, again, he was unplayable. And against Manchester United, again, really, really fantastic. Providing an assist for Martin Odegaard. So we need to give him more football. We need to use him more. We need to get the full stretch out of Gabriel Martinelli. He's really, really important. And then the other player that I saw really good today was Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu had a very good game, lads. Very, very good game. But I think what was important for him as a player and for Arsenal as a club is the fact that he did not only deal with the defensive part of the game today, he also dealt with the offensive. Actually, we saw him come forward a little bit better, than we are used to. We are used to. Again, we are not used to, Tomiyasu coming forward, creating chances, doing things like that. But today, the runs were perfect. His runs were good, and he was very, very productive. He actually, directly involved himself in both goals that we scored. If we can do that, if we can get that one done, make Tomiyasu one of the best fullbacks at the side, and make Kiantieni one of the best fullbacks at the side, we really have a really, really decent team out there. I think the only bad performance we looked at today was Granit Xhaka, not yet fully fit. Lokonga should be playing there. Whether Xhaka is fit or not, Lokonga should be playing with Thomas Partey. Mikel Arteta is adamant, but it's okay. It's going to reach a time when Mikel realizes that he's not going to have, he can't do away with Lokonga anymore. But anyway, who was your man of the match? Man of the match, I've gone with Gabriel Magalhaes. I think Odegaard was really unplayable, but I've gone with Gabriel. I've gone with Gabriel Martinelli, not Magalhaes. I've gone with Gabriel Martinelli, and I hope we see better performances from the lad match day in, match day out.